Hi guys, let me tell you a quick, not a quick story, but something to do with about being gay. I was never gay, but when I grew up, and as I was growing up, at a point my parents thought I was gay. They asked me, son, and I said, no, I'm not gay. Or was it my parents or some relative? Well, I think it was. I can't remember if it was my parents or an older relative just asking me, maybe as a joke, but behind the joke, they really mean what they say. So let me explain. As a kid, I was always a sensitive person. Like, if you see my hands, these are like artist hands. You see, they're not really like big, chunky, like builders' hands, And so I think I was just sensitive all of my life and soft. Now as you get older, your voice kind of deepens. My voice was a little bit higher pitch. It was something like that. Now it's become deeper because as you get older, you do develop, or you can develop that, that deeper voice. Not that deep, but what happened was when I was young. Well, maybe you don't know, but Italian families or Sicilian families, when they eat, like my parents would invite, my uncle, my aunt, or people to come and eat. Then when you finish eating, or when they would finish eating, all the women would go to the kitchen and the men would stay in the dining room. Now, I didn't like it because they used to smoke fags, they used to drink espresso, the things that I didn't really like, and talk about, they might say, "Hey, Gerald, have you got a girlfriend now?" Like things that would embarrass me. So I would just walk off. Well, and actually, even before the time where I could have a girlfriend, even when I was young, maybe 7 or 8 years of age, something like that, I used to go with the ladies and listen to all their gossip. And I remember being in the kitchen, so small, I used to be able to, like, the kitchen was, like, the sink was here, and I was so small. And I would see my mum and other women doing the washing up. My mum used to have a fag outside her mouth like that and talk, all the smoke coming out. And she used to have an apron, and I used to, from behind, untie the apron and just leave it like that, and then it would just fall off as she walked away. But sometimes she can feel it and say, "Gerard, no." But yeah, I would stay with the women in the kitchen. So you'd have all the women and one little boy there, and then the men and the other boys would stay in the in the dining room. And somebody asked me, "Do you like staying with men?" No, I don't. Not really. But I'm not a woman either, so why would I like staying with women? I don't think I like staying with anybody, really, to be honest. But I didn't like to do those manly things, Didn't like to be in a room full of smoke. Bloody hell. It was like a bloody chimney in there. Sometimes it was horrible, and then kids had to just sit there and breathe it all in. Espresso, you don't like espresso. You used to have a Coke or Pepsi for the boys, but we used to talk about just things that I wasn't interested in. It was more interesting to listen to the women's gossip, to be honest. Yeah. So there were signs when I used to go to Sicily. My parents, or even in London, my mum had something that they put on top of their bed. It was like a doll. It was a Spanish doll, and it's something that you put on the bed, like for decoration. And I used to sit there on the floor, play with the doll, the Spanish doll. I know that sounds gay, like, because I did used to have like the action man, but he looked like a bloody criminal, or that spiky hair. It just looks scary. I didn't like it at all. I'd rather play with the Spanish lady, that the you know the doll. Made her walk, and yeah, I know it sounds gay, but but just because you're sensitive, you're soft, it doesn't mean that you're gay, you know. But I was asked, "Am I gay?" And I said, "No, I don't think so." But I did have some strange experiences when I was about, I know some people will call this like kind of SEXUAL abuse, but I didn't see it as that. It was just a bloody annoying. So I, how do I put this? When I had these kind of encounters with men that I think they were GAY or even PEDO, nonce, nonces. Um, so let me take it in chronological order. When I was about 14, I used to play uh, around the corner from my house. There was a wall, so I used to play tennis against the wall. Sometimes cars used to go turn round, and obviously I would stop, and I keep hitting the ball against the wall. But sometimes it would go into that house's garden, and I used to go, "Oh, please, can I have my ball?" After a few times, I would give up because the people would, just get annoyed. So I'd leave the tennis balls there. I would have about three or four. So I used to serve and then do the rallies, and that was usually in the time where I think in June, when Wimbledon would come around. I used to like watching Wimbledon. It was really great. So about 14. So I used to see this guy. He was a black guy. He was about mid 50s or 60s, short guy. He used to smile and say hello, and then he lived on that road. So I used to see him sometimes, like with a young white boy. Had nice blonde hair and like handsome, nice looking. This guy was about only 14 or 15, maybe 15 max. And I saw him in his car. I thought, oh, what is he doing in his car? And I think he had other boys. I saw at least two, and I didn't really think, because when you're a child, you don't think anything of this. You don't. And then I just think I was 14 or 15 or whatever, and I came so close to these nonces or these weird people. Some of the gay ones as well. They're nothing against gays, but some gays maybe are, they how do you say, they try it on with young men. Men are like 15 and stuff like that. Boys 16. They don't wait until a person's, so that is not right as well. But anyway, what happened was I kept playing. Every year I would play. When I was about, I think about 16, I was playing on the wall, and I saw this guy, and he came up to me, and he was talking about, like, would I like to come to his house to see the trains. Like, he's got train sets and like toys that like 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds might like. I said, oh, no, no, thank you. you know and then these words like stuck in my head. Even at the time I thought, oh, that's strange, but then I just continued playing. In my life I've been quite gullible, even up to my 20s, 30s, even 40s, maybe really gullible. But he said to me, like in his like West Indian voice, he goes, sorry, accent, he looked at me up and down, and he goes, "You is a big man now." And I thought, what do you mean I is a big man now? Like, I am a big man now. And I said, oh, thank you. And I continued playing, and he left. He kept looking at me. And only years later, I realized what he was. To think that You know, your kids could be playing around and some guy can talk to them, and then the kid won't even tell you because they don't think it's like at that time I didn't think it's anything um, anything important or anything bad, you know, because you're a child, you know. I tell you, even at the age of 19, I was a child. 20, I was a child, you know. I've probably been a teenager for most of my life. Yeah, so so I never told my parents that. My mom and dad passed away. I never told my parents that. I mean, it's not such an important thing, but it could have been. You know, if one day like he put me in his car or something, you know, I should have told my parents. You know, in case you know, in case anything bad happened to me while I was playing on that road on my own. Like in his car, he could have had a few big men that like bundled me into the car, and then God knows where I would have ended up. But obviously, it didn't happen. He was just like he was attracted to me, obviously attracted to young men, and you know maybe when I came up, he was just trying to plant the seeds into my mind. When I came of age, you know, I would go and see him and maybe try out some try out his train set. Yeah, his Hornby train set, his Horny train set. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, there was that one, and then when I was 17, I used to go to a place called Kensington Market, which is on Kensington High Road in London, and there was a pool place that you go downstairs. It was a really dark place. You go downstairs, and there was a few, two or three pool tables, and there was lots of arcade games like there was Pac-Man, um, Space Invaders, Defender, lots of really cool games. So I had my pocket money from my parents gave me pocket money for the weekend. So maybe a few pounds, maybe £5 or something. That was enough for the bus ticket to get there and come back, and also just to play a few games. And I used to dress up with I think it's called futuristic. It's like goth, like black. I had curly hair, black curly hair. I used to have black stuff and like black boots, like leather boots. And I was interested. There was one girl there that I used to play with sometimes, and I was really interested in her. I think she was like Egyptian or something. That she had that really cool makeup, and she was in black leather. But I could never pick up the courage to get a phone number or ask her out. I just played a little bit with her, and then a few games, and then that's it. Later on, I actually met her again when I was 19, and I didn't have that curly hair. I had normal, like a casual style, short hair, and I was walking in the park with a friend of mine, Jerry, another Italian guy, and her name was Kitza. So I walked by, I said, "Hello, Kitza," and then I walked away. And she actually wanted to talk to me, and her friends were saying, "Go on, go on." They were pushing her, saying, "Talk, go and talk to him. Who is he?" And I was nice at the time, not nicer looking than I am now. And I felt so shy, and I had that social anxiety that I just walked away. Even my friend said, "Look, they're calling you. What are you doing? Don't be an idiot." I couldn't. I felt so red. I was shy, embarrassed. I just couldn't do it. And that's one of the, you when you're shy and you have social anxiety, you end up having so many bloody regrets, so many chances of meeting a really nice girl or making friends, or you lose so many opportunities. Anyway, yeah. So go back. Let's rewind to when I was 17. So I was standing there one time, and I was playing Pac-Man or I don't know, another game, and then like I feel like there was someone standing behind me and pressing himself or her against me. I thought maybe I don't know what I felt, and it was really awkward. I thought, what the hell is that? And I turned around, and it was the boss of the arcade. He was an Iranian man, maybe in his 45 or 50 years old of age, big stubble. It was like that. And when I turned around, he can see that I was like shocked. And then he just walked away, and he gave me that look. And then he walked away, and he realized that my face must have looked really shocked. You know what I actually felt when I felt him pressing himself, like his groin and his chest against me on my back. I felt like a shock from my tailbone all the way up to my brain, like my like my I don't know, my back just a shiver like that. It's like a horrible feeling, like a horrible. Especially maybe when I turned around and I saw him, maybe that's when I had that. So he was pressing himself up against me. I always made a note of looking out for that guy where where the hell he was. So basically, this is another guy that tried it on. I'm not sure if he's gay or whatever, but how can you try it on? Yeah, maybe he must have been gay when I was 17, so I looked older. Anyway, but there was one time when I was 22 that I worked for just a short time as a waiter, and it was in the hospitality inn. And there was this short guy, his name was Troy, with a big, massive beard, and he was gay, right? Oh my God. So the one time I had a tray full of lots of, because I used to pick up all the dirty plates, the cups and everything, cutlery. It was really heavy. And I was taking it to the washer up. There's two African guys that were washing up. And I had to take things slowly and put them down on the metal area where they wash up. As I was doing that, this guy comes along, and like, this is the bottom of my spine and this is the top of my spine. He came along and he put his finger on my tailbone like that, like that, like this, and put it all the way up to my neck, saying, "Jedro, Jedro, Jedro." Oh my God! The tray that I had, I just shook like that, and I smashed it. Everything smashed on the floor, and I turned around. He was smiling, and like, yeah, you don't want to be like homophobic or anything. And I thought, what the fuck is he doing? Why did you do it? Why do you have to touch me like that? I didn't say it to him because I didn't want to be rude, but I wasn't angry with him. It's just so shocking, and it kind of like revived that feeling that I had when I was 17, that from my tailbone all the way up to my head, like I had that that like somebody touched me, Yeah. Why can't it be a bird that touches you? Sometimes as a bloke, right? Sometimes you see, like, nothing against gay guys, because I've had these few experiences with these, I assume, men that were gay, and there's no hate towards gays for me. I just find it a bit silly, but I mean, none of them wanted to hurt me, I don't think. I don't know about the first one, but yeah, so there's no hate there, um, but the thing is, I've had experiences like growing up in London where, like, as a young man, you'd like to meet a nice girl, and then, like you find out that you need to be more cool. You have to be dressed nice, have maybe money, and you're not really cool. You don't maybe have the money. You don't look handsome as the others, or know how to talk to people. And so many women, they look at you and they don't give you any look. But with men, men will give you that, look you up and down like that. And you think, why can't a woman do that to me? You know? Yeah, well, anyway, but I definitely am not. I'm definitely more sensitive. But I'm not gay, Gay. I'm gay in the traditional sense. I'm happy. The traditional meaning of the word. But I better not do this. I better have a stiff arm there. But yeah, I'm definitely not I'm not gay. Nothing wrong with being gay, I suppose. But I like women. They're my favorite opposite sex. So yeah, there's my story on my gay story, if you will. Yeah, but it's strange that like those family members ask me, "Are you gay?" And actually, my estranged daughter, the mother in London, you know, I we were on bad terms. We were arguing, and I think we split up. And then at one point she said, "Are you gay?" And I said, "No." But it's as if like she asked me that maybe to make herself feel better, because if I'm gay, then there's a reason why I left her. Well, the reason was because you're you're a horrible person, not because I'm gay. You know. But sometimes people will think that you're just because you're sensitive, you're soft, you like things like tai chi, you love to be around women, you don't do all those manly things. You must be gay. No, I'm as a maybe more of a man than a. In a sense, like maybe I like women more than the man that would rather go out and spend time doing those manly things. I don't know because I haven't spoken to men about these things. Because if you speak to men about these things, I'll say you're gay or a puff, or things like that, depending on which men you talk to. So I feel comfortable talking with a man about men's health and mental health, men's mental health, because certain subjects will arise, divorce, how women maybe manipulate men and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really good to have that, like, talk to a brother, as they say. But but in some circumstances, it's actually better to talk to a woman about certain things. I don't know. Sorry if I'm not making sense. But yeah, that's my story about my gay story. So I don't know if you guys have a similar experience? Maybe you're a lady and you're brought up and as a tomboy. I don't know if that word actually still exists, because you have to be careful with words, don't you? You know, my friend in London is from Barbados. He's a lovely guy. He's a black guy, and I said to him, like, I saw this girl. I swear, she, so horny. I have to. That's the only word I can say. She was a mixed race girl, really nice hair. She must have been about 18, between 17 and 19. I'm not sure. And she was she was at the bus stop sucking on a lollipop, taking it out of her mouth and licking it. And I thought that was so sensual. When I looked at her, I was like a dog panting, like the dog's there. I was just looking at her like that, and I thought, oh, I can't look at her, make it obvious. I was explaining this to my friend, and he said, so I said to him, uh, um, Leroy. I just call him Leroy, but it's not Leroy. Um, I saw this girl at the bus stop the other day. This half caste girl. She was so sexy, and so he was saying to me, "No, no, you can't say half caste anymore." And he started grinning. I said, "Why not? She, she's a half caste girl. She's a beautiful girl. She was so." He said, "You can't say half caste anymore." I said, "Really?" And I didn't know. I didn't know that you can't say that word. I said, "What am I supposed to say?" He said, he was still grinning. He was saying mixed race, because he knows that I don't know. He's probably thinking that if I say this in public, someone's gonna, complain. Yeah. So I thought, I have to shut up in public. I'm gonna get in trouble. You know. So yeah. So if you're I don't know if that term tomboy is still used. If it's really bad, if it's politically incorrect, I don't know what to say. But you know, if somebody called you tomboy or lesbian, you know, but really weren't, you just liked to do the manly things. And I had an aunt in Sicily who, like, she never was married, she never had a boyfriend or anything, but she was really manly, short hair. And I think because, in Sicily, in that village, maybe she liked women, but she couldn't really be a lesbian, because, like, it wasn't, like, it was like something so alien, I think. But she was always a man, really strong, and talking in a certain way. Yeah, and she was like well, maybe she could have been just like a lifelong tomboy. Yeah. So, mate, it can happen to women as well. You know, you can be, you know, has it happened to you? Maybe you like DIY football and stuff like that, and your parents or somebody asks, you know, are you a tomboy? You know, are you a lesbian or something like that? Or has it happened to you? You know, you guys, you know, are you sensitive like me and then like I was, and then someone, you know, said, you know, are you homo or gay or anything like that, homosexual? Hmm. It's strange, anyway. Okay, all right. Thanks, guys, for listening, and I hope you guys have a nice evening or nice day or nice night, whatever it is in your part of the world. And please like or dislike, share, and comment down below. But no troll comments, please. Otherwise, I'll ban you. Yeah, so anyway, I'll speak to you guys later, and thank you for watching. All right, bye-bye.